It's the day of Tunisia's presidential election, a day when political parties are silenced from campaigning, which is why the humanitarian group Tunisians trapped abroad are speaking out. They're calling on the government to do more to help the return of Tunisians who've travelled to Iraq and Syria to fight with extremist groups. Boujema is from the northwestern city of Jendouba. His 26-year-old son Monsef travelled to Syria 2 years ago. Since then, he's heard nothing from him.
He finished his studies, got a degree and applied for so many jobs, but then nothing. He is unemployed. He told me he's going to study, but I didn't understand what kind of studies he's taking. He spent a year away, then he came for 2 days and said, I'm going to Tunis. A week later, he called and said, I'm in Libya. And since then, we lost contact. No phone calls, no sign. We eventually went to the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but they gave me no information. He did nothing. He was misled and they took him to Syria. He had no problems before.
So why are so many young Tunisians travelling abroad to fight? Mohamed Ben Rejeb is the head of Tunisians trapped abroad. He says many are lured by recruitment groups funded by extremists in Europe and the Gulf.
They bargain the price of a Tunisian fighter between 3,000 and 10,000 because a young Tunisian is evaluated according to his level and type of education. The more educated he is, the more he is worth. These are criminal networks who take the money, not the young people.
Although hard to verify, the government says there are currently up to 3,000 Tunisians fighting in Iraq and Syria. A further 400 are thought to have returned to their homeland. But for those that return to Tunisia, it's highly likely that they'll be interrogated, detained, or put under strict state surveillance. So is it possible for foreign fighters ever to really fully reintegrate into civil society? For rehabilitation of jihadists, Saudi Arabia leads the way in the region. Convicted fighters must undergo a counselling program after their prison sentence. Once released, offenders receive support of $700 a month and get help to find work and housing. No rehabilitation schemes exist in Tunisia. Instead, the government supports a zero-tolerance approach by state security. Mohamed Ali Lari, seen here at a joint Tunisian-UK security briefing, is a spokesman for the Ministry of Interior. Despite allegations of state torture of returning fighters, he says their rights are upheld.
Actually, one of the reasons why many Tunisian jihadists go to fight in Syria is the misconception of freedom. We have a lot of new freedoms, and we are dealing with that with much respect to human rights, democracy, and fair trials. There is no fear in Tunisia of the risk of going back to despotic measures of torture. This is not our plan, and the state cannot go back to this situation of dictatorship. They have the right to a fair trial, but the whole Tunisian society should collaborate to find a solution to those people.
Back at the rally, those words will offer little comfort to parents of missing children. Nazia's son, Mohammed, has been missing for over a year.
I'm sleepless night and day. We kept asking the government. The Foreign Affairs Ministry gave us a promise to bring them back. We went to the presidential palace too. No one understands our distress. I'm asking the new government and the new upcoming president to bring back our kids and consider them like their own kids.
But as the rally draws to a close, a row breaks out. A bystander shouts at the parents. A reminder that reintegrating Tunisia's fighters remains a deeply divisive issue.